I was doing a public speaking Q&A the other day and somebody asked me a very interesting question. They said, how do you prepare for a speech if you haven't got very much time? And I thought, you know what, that is an excellent question for civic leaders because they have to speak a lot and they don't have a lot of time, so they have to prepare speeches very quickly. So here are my 3 top tips for how to prepare a speech quickly. The first one is say less. Now that sounds obvious, but actually it's quite difficult. There's conventional wisdom that suggests that actually making a shorter speech takes a lot longer to prepare than a longer speech because actually brevity is difficult. And there is something in that. If you're trying to prepare a really succinct, really short speech on a complex subject, then it is very difficult. It will take a lot of time. However, you can make a very short speech by using the thank you, well done, thank you principle, which I adopted quite a lot when I was mayor. What you do is you stand up and you say thank you. Then you say well done, and then you say thank you. Now that's a very short speech, so you might want to pad it out a little bit. So you would say something like, thank you very much for the wonderful things that you do for your community. Well done for the big effect that you're having on this section of the community. Thank you again. Keep up the good work. That's literally it. That is basically 3 sentences, 3 slightly long sentences. But you can say that in 45 seconds and you can actually really say something. The only danger with it is you tend to say, people do tend to say, thank you for inviting me. Don't say thank you for inviting me. Don't talk about you, talk about them. Say thank you for what you do. Thank you for the impact that you have on the community. Well done for what you're doing. And you'll come up with a really wonderful speech and it won't take you very long. And you just use that structure. So begin with thanking them for what they've done, then congratulate them for what they've done, and then thank them again for what they've done. Thank you, well done, thank you. It's a nice simple structure which allows you to make a very short speech. The next tip I have for you is write your notes on business cards. If you put a business card in your hand, it's very difficult for people to see that you've actually got a business card in your hand. And then you can make it look like you're not speaking with notes. You wave your hands about a bit, nobody notices, but actually you have a business card in your hand. So make a few notes, make very brief notes, ideally just a word. So think about what you want to thank them for, the thing that they're doing well, write it down in one word. Think about the thing you want to congratulate them for, write it down in one word, and the thing that you want to thank them again for, write it down in one word. So you've got 3 words on your business card. You're not going to forget what you've got to say. You've just got these key words which will remind you about your sentence. If you want to make a slightly longer speech, you can maybe have 5 key words, but if you keep it to 5 key words, it will fit on a business card, you'll be able to read it, and it will remind you what you want to say. And then the final tip that I have for you is to use prepared material. So I'm not saying make the same speech again and again and again. That's terrible. You have to reinvent everything each time you say it to a new audience because each audience is different, and you've got to judge the audience whilst you're speaking to them, and you've got to judge them before you start. So don't say the same things again and again and again, but use prepared material. So if you have a very clear vision about what you want to achieve during your time in office, you will be very comfortable about talking about it. So put it into your speeches. In the well done section, you can say, well done for what you're doing because it is helping to develop the community in the following ways, and that's something that I'm really trying to do during my time in office. So you can connect things together, what the organisation is doing and what you're trying to achieve. Talk about your vision. It's something that you already know about. Also, local history is a great one. If you're passionate about local history and you know things about local history, you'll be comfortable about talking about them. So you can drop them into your speeches. Again, if you're promoting things that your council are doing, get comfortable about talking about them. You can just drop them into your speeches. And it makes it easier for you to speak without any preparation at all. In fact, if you know your vision and you know your message and you know a little bit of history, you can just stand up and say those 3 things. You don't need any time to prepare at all. So those are my 3 top tips to help you prepare if you're really short of time. Say less, use business cards, and use prepared material. Those 3 things will really come invaluable because making a great speeches is a real skill, and it's one of the best opportunities you have to communicate with people. It's great meeting somebody and having an effect on them one-to-one, but it's even better if you can get your message across to tens, hundreds, if not thousands of people in one go. That's real value for money. My name's Duncan Bascombe Brown. I'm the Civic Coach. Thank you very much.